What a year we've had. We faced a reality unimaginably foreign to us all. But when every assumption about our lives was put to question, there was one thing that remained constant: our homes. As we embark on a new year, our commitment towards designing our homes well, customizing them into our own personal sanctuaries has only become stronger. I am Preeti Singh, editor of Houzz India. Come with me on a journey as I take you through Houzz's most popular Indian homes of 2020. Now, this selection that you're about to see are homes that have been the most liked and most viewed by Houzz readers amongst all the other spaces that were shared by India's top designers and architects. These homes were chosen by you. Come, let's take a look.
Brief shared with us was a reference to contemporize the mid-century modern architecture. So all the colors are inspired from nature. Teak wood is used in its most natural form. The flooring of black color is used again in its natural form of black granite. Whereas the walls are all hand-painted cement walls, which of course reflect its original grey color. For tea house, the whole idea was to keep it as natural and functional aesthetics as possible. Hence, the entire palette revolves around natural colors.
Alia has been a great client. It was going to be her first home. A home which is going to take care of all her needs, getting ready for events, to commemorations, meetings, having family get-togethers. A home with a lot of other work functionalities. When we got the space had a very long alley and tons of bedrooms. So we broke a lot and we created this really big open space. You can sit in different corners, there's a little small seating and library where she can sit and read her scripts. Right next to the windows, you can enjoy the rain. There's a beautiful tree there. The entire tree comes into the living room. I love to bring the old and new together, and I've used heritage flooring which gives it like a European feel, and I mixed it with some Italian floor to give it that relief of living modernity. It's like a loft home for two young people, and that's how I imagined it and that's how I designed it.
Our client is Meghani family. We are a 5-member family. So the brief was very simple though unique. They wanted their house to be very contemporary. Simultaneously, they wanted all the state-of-art modern facilities like new materials, advanced technologies. But at the heart of the house, they wanted it to be an Indian contemporary house. When it comes to the Indian contemporary architecture, the courtyard has been always a great part of ancient Indian houses. It was decided that let us put a courtyard from where all surrounding family spaces like formal living room, the dining area, the kitchen or the family sitting area will overlook the courtyard, and the courtyard will act as a source of a good light and ventilation. In the center, there is a beautiful Shakti sculpture which is symbolizing the Shakti. There are practically 3 generations in the house. So elderly people are more practical, more functional. They have their different ideas about the aesthetics. The younger generation have a different ideas. They are well traveled in the world. It was a challenge to calibrate all aesthetical needs of all the family members, all the generation in a single house.
young couple. They wanted this space to be reflective of both of them. Even in the first meeting, they both said that we have very different tastes, and your challenge is really going to be to create a space that has both of us in it. We were blessed with a blank canvas, but there were structural elements that we couldn't do away with. One of them was the column that you see as soon as you open the door. When you can't do away with something, you've got to make it a feature. We lined the column with stone tiles, and we sort of wanted to create this whole faux mantle, which was really European, and bring the column to life. I think that's one of my favorite details in the house. We realized that she loves wood, whereas Upen was more modern and he really wanted something that was a little bit on the edgier side. So you will see wood, but at the same time you see juxtaposed with it metal, and you'll see lighter tones, upholstery. Best thing that we did was to open the entire kitchen up, replace the window with a much larger picture window and a door. What it does is it brings in a whole lot of natural light into the living area, bringing in cohesiveness in a large open space. I think that's also very key to our design philosophy, which you will see here beautifully. There's a massive open kitchen, there's a living room, there's a lounge room, there's a bar area, and they're all in one space.
The project we're talking about today is a modern family. The project started with a very simple brief. It's just about people who moved homes all their lives. They moved cities, they moved countries because they come from an army background. They asked me for a very simple thing. Nishita, this is the very, very first home we have bought. And all we wanted to do is give us a home in this space. They wanted a space that they could entertain their friends in, they could have their family over. What we wanted to do here was just break boundaries and break the definition of a room here just by the simple act of stripping down some of the walls, that is the kitchen wall and the media room wall, and creating a seamless transition from the kitchen to the dining area and then to the living area. Absolutely changes the way one perceives the entire space. It no more looks like two small rooms, but it looks like one large space. The dining area in the living room is one of my favorite places because that long 15 feet live edge dinner table, which we have beautifully crafted out of one piece, and even the mint green terrazzo bar top, which again becomes part of the living room. It just kind of changes the face of the entire living room, and I think that's what we had set out to do, create keyboard pieces that change the face of the entire space.
Plaza Farmhouse is actually a 17,000 square feet house, and it's for a family of 6 people. The brief from the client was very simple. They wanted a house which had a lot of color, it was modern and it was very vibrant, and they wanted a lot of modern elements in the house. At the same time, they wanted it to have a little bit of the classical Indian touch also. We had a lot of in-depth discussions with each member of the family to understand what they liked and disliked. Once I got to know that, then I picked up the common elements and tied them together. That's how we managed to make it a little more like a cohesive whole. It all fitted in quite well in the end.
Strangely, the clients contacted us to see if we can fit air conditioners into an old house. One thing led to another, and they asked us to do up their entire space. It's an 80-year-old house built in a very traditional Madras style construction. This place actually holds a lot of memories for the family. We had a very good platform to work on. All we needed to do was bring in some modern elements. did not touch the structure. It was a very solid and fine construction. We've retained all the traditional elements like the Madras terrace roof, the wooden rafters, the red oxide flooring. Doors and the frames had been painted fully in a grey enamel paint. So we started scraping it to find beautiful Burma teak used for the entire construction. We convinced the clients and we were able to retain all of the old wood. Except in this renovation, we have brought out the pattern and the color of the wood rather than using enamel paint like the previous times.
Although the space was luxurious and large and lavish, the client wanted to keep it pretty simple. They didn't want to make it like a 5-star hotel or a luxurious property which is blinging all this. It was kind of a little scary as well to kind of tackle a huge and humongous site, especially when you land up on the second floor, which is the entertainment floor. You just see the paddy fields, and then you can just hear the waves roaring. And I think that was the brilliant inspiration for me to kind of convince the client that this is where you should be enjoying your sunsets from. You know, so this is exactly the space where you create a patio and you create a pergola and you create a evening sundowner space out here for sure. A huge space with a lot of indoor plants would have created a havoc for them just to maintain a lot of indoor plants. So what we decided was that since we have the luxury of huge open lawns and a lot of outdoor plants, we took that little leverage by consuming a lot of indoor plants as artificial plants, which kind of visually created filler as well, but at the same time has absolutely zero maintenance, so it kind of completely saves you on the pain of taking care of each and everything and still have that beautiful look, simply because you actually are having lovely lawn and lovely garden outdoors. I think for me it is the double height exotic variant which just kind of completely creates its presence felt like an artwork. I think it really emphasizes on height as you would want to be spoken about when you speak about the double height volume. I still can't believe it. I mean, even while we're doing this, I still can't believe it that yes, we are on that list.
Houzz has been very dear to me. I think it feels amazing for our home to be selected in the best homes on Houzz.
We're on the list last year, so to be on the list again the second time around feels absolutely wonderful.
It feels good to be appreciated, to know that people really understand the effort and the styling and the reason why it's made that way. So it feels really good.